Here is question 2C. So they want us to look at an issue with the design of the survey or any questions in it. And they've said discuss one potential issue. If we can think of a couple of issues, then they can determine which is the better one to use. So they've told us in the research that all the respondents were given a brief background on that sugar in our diet before they asked the questions of them. And in the extract of the information given, we can see it talks there about health problems. So we also were told that the results were weighted, and I will deal with that as a later issue. So if we just take that health problems, causing many health problems, so this is the background information that they were given and told it includes diabetes, immune system issues, tooth decay, and things like cancer and heart disease. Those are all quite scary words. And so what people have done is they've read quite a negative piece of reporting and then gone on to do a survey and been asked questions about sugar. So one of the potential issues is that respondents were given information about that before being asked questions, which is quite negative, and that's likely to encourage people and make people more likely to view sugar negatively when they answer their questions about the consumption of sugar. So that's kind of leading people along the way. It's not a neutral one. Now, another piece of information is that we were told on the final day of that 3-week survey that coincided with the release of another study which looks at the mortality impact of a 20% tax on fizzy drinks. So talking about postponing or avert deaths a year. So on this last day, they could have been influenced by that report. If I get a report in the newspaper about how many people are dying from something, then when I see a survey about it, I'm more likely to answer more negatively about sugar drinks. So again, that makes it an unbiased survey. So another one is if you look at the question that they asked, do you believe that New Zealand should impose any of the following in order to reduce sugar consumption? So there's the questions themselves, looking at limiting sugar in drinks, a tax on the sugar content, a tax on the sugar content of foods versus drinks, or reducing the serving size in drinks containing sugar. So those are all the questions that were asked about imposing any of these things. So one of the issues is that uses this word reduce sugar consumption. So that's telling us that it's leading. It's referring to reducing, implying that is necessary. That's a good thing to reduce sugar, which may well be true, but it's not a neutral survey question. And it also, more importantly, uses this word impose. Now, the word impose is a very forceful word, and really you want a question that is far more neutral or unbiased. So, for example, we could have worded it, do you believe New Zealanders should introduce any of the following? And so that's just asking, do you believe? There's no leading questions in there, and you would simply ask, do you believe that there should be a tax, a limit on sugar intake in drinks, etc., etc., without using this very, very forceful negative language. So in order to, if you can identify one feature, then that would get you an achieved. If you can describe an issue and how it would affect the responses, that would be your merit. And then looking at the design issue and how it's going to do it, being more specific. And so much more specific contextual knowledge, then that gets you through to the excellence.